Welcome to Entrepreneurs Conquering the World, how to build a global audience and profit from it. With your host, Carmen Ring.
Hello everyone, welcome to our show, Entrepreneurs Conquering the World. I am Carmen Ring, your host, and today I have with me Nadine Lajoie. Welcome, Nadine. Nadine is an international award-winning entrepreneur with 20 awards currently, and she retired as a millionaire at age 41. She is also a champion motorcycle racer. Nadine was featured on Forbes, USA Today, ABC Fox, and CBS Money Watch, along with personalities like Oprah Winfrey, Donald Trump, Zig Ziglar, and many others. She is also a #1 best-selling author of the book Win the Race of Life, and she has shared the stage around the world with experts like Jamie Lee Curtis, Les Brown, Dr. John Gray, Adam Markell, and this is just to name a few. Once again, Nadine, welcome. Why don't you tell us more about how you started in business and how your journey was so far?
Thank you very much for having me, and I'm really excited to share about my story. And all my life, until the age of 25 years old, I wanted to commit suicide. So even if I was good at sports, good at music, good at everything, I had big dreams, but a lot of people were kind of just choking my dreams and don't let me realize them or even think or dream about them. So when finally in 95, my life really changed, I became an entrepreneur. So I was 25 years old. I started my first business as a financial planner. And the reason is I saw a little ad in the newspaper that was saying, become a financial planner, get 4-week vacation a year and work 4 days a week. And no boss. Yeah, so I was in business at the age of 25 years old, and now I really like to inspire even the teenagers because I wish I would have started my first business at 15 instead of 25.
Yes, and talking about teenagers, I know you have a program that's specifically dedicated to teens, and now I guess it makes so much more sense understanding your why behind creating that program, and this is a very inspiring story. Now, we also know you are an international business person. You started on the French market first in Canada, is that correct?
Yes, I started in Quebec between 95 and 2006. Actually, in 2006, I semi-retired from my financial business. I had an employee who made him become one of my partners. So he was the vice president of my business. So I offered him an opportunity to grow in the business, push him, mentor him and all that. And after maybe 7 or 8 years he was with me, I started to offer him some shares of my business. So like that, I can start to get away. And at 36 years old, I sold my car, my house, and traveled 21 states, motorcycle racing, and I was managing my business from computer, from Skype. Skype at that time barely exists. Not a lot of people knew about that, but I was managing all my business virtually, and that's where I started to start different businesses in the US, and at one point I was up to 6 businesses in the Canada and US, which is a lot of challenges. And for everybody who are international entrepreneurs, having a couple of clients here and there in different countries, now I have clients in different countries, we think that it's easy because everything about internet is so much easier. But at the same time, I learned a lot about accounting between 2 countries, dealing with Canada and with US, with Quebec, with California, with a lot of different cities, counties, and all that. That takes a lot of dedication and a lot of commitment because the governments are not making the things easy for entrepreneurs, especially not international entrepreneurs.
Yes, I agree. And I think a lot of our audience, has probably experienced that so far. So, being done that, it's so many challenges and, a lot of work. However, what are the benefits? What made you still go through all of these challenges and keep going with your dreams and having this international business?
Yeah, there are many reasons. For me, being an entrepreneur, and that's what I teach and I coach and I mentor a lot, there is three main reasons. The first is when you become an expert in your industry, it's easier to attract clients. And when you are your own boss, you keep all the money, right? So that brings me a lot more lifestyle. I'm able to travel more because I'm able to deduct or write off my expenses for hotel, for everything. So this is the second point, is when you are an entrepreneur, there is a lot of tax strategies and tax savings. And I'm really good at that. I was an actuary by trade, and as a financial planner in my first career, I'm always about finding ways to save money legally, always legally, but there are many, many ways to do that when you are an entrepreneur. And the third reason is really to do passive income, because if you work for somebody else, there is no way you can create passive income, no way you can manage your real estate from a cruise or from a hotel room in Africa or in India when I was speaking there. So those three reasons are really the only reason, and the only way I will ever work is being my own boss. And now it's 21 years that I own my own businesses. I have coached over 850 clients and became an expert in my industry, and now teaching the people to do the same.
Yes, and one of the ways you teach people to become an expert is by encouraging them to get a lot of media exposure. Is that right?
Yes, in media, a lot of people, they don't take advantage enough of the media. We know a lot about social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all that. And even that, this is marketing for free for everybody. For small businesses who cannot afford to buy a billboard or to have a TV ad or a radio ad, a lot of people, they don't know exactly how to get their message across. And that's why I was able to be featured in ABC News, Forbes, and all that. I came in the US in 2007, didn't speak English.
Oh, wow.
Nobody. So I came here, I was semi-retired. So my goal was just to enjoy for 5 months a year, come back to Quebec, work from distance and virtually. But because my dream when I was young was to become a singer. So Celine Dion, when she sang for the Pope in '84, I was there, and I was one in the first rows, and I was hoping she will be sick so I can raise my hand and I can sing instead of Celine Dion. It never happened, but I always include my music, my singing into my speaking, and because of that dream of becoming a celebrity like Celine Dion, I always call my radio, local newspaper, everything I was doing. When I was doing a competition in mathematics in Canada, or piano competition, or even volleyball, I finished 9 in volleyball in Canada, and I'm 5'1". So I was calling the radio and the newspaper, hey, I have a story for you. And after you kind of chase them many times, as they say in marketing, it takes over 7 times, right? 7 to 10 times to get the people pay attention to you. And I was doing that at the beginning just for fun, just for my piano, my music, my volleyball, my racing. And from there, because I had a lot of radio show, TV interview, and magazine, when I started my speaking business, that was easier here in the US, even if I didn't know nobody, because I had a lot of links online, on TV, radio, magazine. And now that's what I teach people, because people are kind of afraid a little bit of telling their own story, and they don't know how to tell the story. You know that, because I know you got a lot of coaching too, and we went to Peak Potential and all that, and they teach a lot about your story, your message. And what I developed, and I want to give that to your listener, it's my expert grid blueprint. It's 9-step process, which I think I took my coaching, my media coaching, and my speaking coaching. So I took a lot of my coaching in all my life, and I put that in one piece of paper with 9 steps to help people to tell their story.
So to sum this up a little bit for our audience, when you talk about media, what you're saying is that at least at the beginning, to build yourself up and your image and your business image, you have to be after the media. You have to chase them, call them, send them emails, messages, be after them. And after that, eventually you're going to come at the point where the media will be chasing you. Because because I believe that some people just think that, I'm just going to build my business successful and eventually the media is going to come to me. So you're saying you go after the media.
Yes, and even after you go for the media, and I appeared over 30 million people so far with national TV and radio and all that, even with that, if you are not constantly in front of the media, if you don't send your press kit, your press release, articles, blogging, if you don't entertain them all the time, they will forget about you because somebody else will come in the market instead of you. So it's always like a lot of people said, pick me. They want to be in the media, but you really have to take the step, and not only one step. You need to take 7, 10, 15 steps ahead. So the media is according you an interview. And one of the good ways is to build your press kit properly with a bio, like a 2-paragraph bio. You need to do a marketing campaign. I help a lot of people building a marketing strategy for the media, because if the media is interested to you, right? You send an email or a press release and they said, oh, okay, it's interesting. What is the first thing that they will do? They will Google your name and they will go to your website. So if your website is not professional, you don't have a nice branding, you don't have nice picture, you don't have a press kit or a media tab, there is a good chance they will stop their research just there. Mm-hmm. And people can copy paste. You can go to my own website, nadinecoaching.com, and you have access to all that. Just copy, just see what I did from media coaching. I paid thousands and thousands of dollars to be coached as a media because my accent was so strong. A lot of people, they told me, oh, you will never be on TV or magazines or radio or on stage because your accent is so strong and you barely speak English. I said, watch me. And I did it. Within 3 years, I was on TEDx. Within 5 years, I was on big stage with big speakers. And now they are telling me, oh, your accent is so cute. So that's why they take you in media.
That's why they took you. And talking about your website, because you mentioned it, and I do encourage everyone in our audience to go and check out your website. It's a good model. And thank you for giving them permission to get some inspiration from your website and apply it maybe to their own business. Your website is both in English and in French. So you are both, you target both the French and the English speaking communities and the medias. Is that correct? So you go on TV in both communities. Is that right?
Yes. I really love both. However, most of my business is in the US, is in English. So I have a few pages for the French people, like the major pages are translated in French. I have some video in French too, but I would say most of my websites is in English, but people can always contact me anytime. I can go speak. I went to speak in Paris and different countries, and I love to speak in French. My speech is a little different and the energy is different because it's my natural language. At the beginning in English, I have to think, sometimes in French and translate in English. So sometimes in English, it's less natural, I would say.
And that was my next question to you, because you said, you just said your energy is a bit different when you speak in the two languages. Is that just because of you, because one of it's your native language and one it's learned, or is it also because of the audience? Do you feel there's a difference in approaching the audience in Paris and in approaching the audience in California?
Yes, completely different. And I would say even Paris and Quebec is completely different, even if it's two French audience. And we always need to adapt. So it's why with that expert grid blueprint, what is fun is you can adapt anything, any subject, any stories, because you have kind of all your life in one page. And when you go to some place, you know that they are more business people, so you put a little bit less empowerment. If you go to an audience that is more warm, they are more about relationship with the people instead of learning and taking notes. So you put more exercise in your speech. So it's really easy to adapt. And as I always say, like motorcycle racing, you need to go with the flow, dance with your bike, dance with your life. And like when we go at 180 miles per hour, we need to feel that we are going slow. And because when you feel slow, it's because you are going fast. And when you feel fast, it's because you are going slow. Which means
that's a very interesting expression.
Yeah, so which means that when you go at 180 miles per hour and you feel slow, it's because you can go probably 200 miles per hour. So it's because the knowledge needs to be better and bigger than what you are doing. And a lot of people, they go over their head. In business, they take too many projects at the same time, everything looks, they are going fast, and finally they don't get nothing accomplished, so they are going slow.
Now, tell me, your English, we can sense an accent, and so can people in my English can sense an accent. But tell me, you said you started in 2007 when you moved to the US and knowing no English at all. How difficult was it for you to learn English? Because I don't know if it's, at least in Europe, there's a joke that everybody speaks English besides French people, in France. So I think you are a great example that, it's nothing impossible. People think sometimes that learning a new language can be something very challenging and can hold them back from expanding their business. How easy or how difficult was it for you to learn English?
At the beginning, that was not easy because, of course, in classroom, we learn English when I was young, in Cégep and in college and university and all that. But when you don't practice, you cannot get nothing accomplished. But because I was good at memorizing the verbs, the sentence and all that, my sentences are often like off, but my words, my vocabulary is still pretty good because I learned that in school. So in 2004, I started to race motorcycle with the guys, and I started to race in Ontario. Pardon. And because of that, I had to learn English. And pardon, the guys were always making jokes, and I couldn't follow the jokes. Pardon. Well, pardon. So because of that, I was not really happy about me because I could not never understand the joke, and I still cannot never understand the joke, so don't worry about that. But it kind of pushed me to really learn English. So when I decided to semi-retire in 2006, I sold my house, my car, traveled 21 states by myself, and I said, I'm going to learn English for the next 4 months. So I was going everywhere, going to a restaurant, and just submerge myself with English. And a lot of people, they can learn a language within, I would say, between 4 to 8 months from scratch. A lot of people can learn, and there are different methods and all that, which I didn't follow because of my background from the school. That was good enough foundation to help me grow my English.
That's thank you for sharing this story. Actually, one of my next goals now is to learn a new language. I speak 7 languages, but I want to learn Russian. It's something I really want to learn. It's a challenge because it has a different alphabet and all that. So, thank you for sharing this story. Now, when you mentioned challenges about being on the international market, you mentioned that sometimes the government might not make it easy. We have currencies, we have language. If somebody, just give us a message for somebody who's thinking of taking their business internationally and they feel they don't really know how to do it, what challenges should they expect? and how would you suggest to overcome them? Because, and the reason why I'm asking this, I want people to understand that when they face a challenge, that's all it is. It's a challenge that's going to be overcome. It doesn't mean, oh, it's a sign I shouldn't be doing this, or it's a sign it's not going to work. It's just a challenge, an obstacle that's totally natural in this process of taking your business internationally. So if you can share a few of these with us.
I would say the first thing, I always encourage my clients, even if I'm a coach myself, to have 3 different coaches. One on the personal side, professional, and spiritual. At least you have that, because if you don't have balance in your life, that would be really hard to grow your business. So this is the foundation of building your business, because if your foundation, you don't have balance, it doesn't go well with your couple or your family, there is no way you can help your business grow. So once you go to international, the challenges become bigger. And because now you have to deal with 2 government or even more, and all kind of international law, internet law, social media law. And if you don't have the support and the balance in your life, there is no way you can go through all those challenges. So this is the first step, having 3 coaches. Now, the second step is really following somebody who have been there, done that. Somebody like me, somebody like you, because a lot of people, they are trying to get advice from people who are not accomplished that. And one of the best example I have is when I was motorcycle racing all over the place, and I raced at Daytona. I finished 3rd at Daytona against 75 guys. I finished 9 in national championship in Atlanta, in road Atlanta. So when I arrive at the racetrack, I'm the only woman, or one of the few women, and the guys are all there trying to give you advice. And this is the same thing in business. Your brother, your sister-in-law, your mother, everybody's trying to give you advice. As an entrepreneur, I can guarantee you that 80% of those people are not even successful. And one of my best advice is never listen a coach who is slower than you. Because at the racetrack, they were giving me advice, and within half a day or one day, I was passing those guys. So now I started to realize I'm taking advice for people who are slower than me. So in business, this is exactly the same thing. Learn from people like who knows what to do. You need a good accountant, you need a good attorney, you need a good notary, you need a good whatever. I'm in real estate too, so I need a good realtor. So you need to surround yourself with la crème de la crème. And for those people who are really international entrepreneur, or you want to do that, and you are living or living out of the U.S., but you are resident or becoming resident of the U.S., you need to be careful about the forms 5471, 8938, 8621, 3520, and F-bar. So because when you deal with 2 governments, now they have new law since 2014 and 2011. And even if you have only $1 or 1 client in another country, you need to declare everything on different forms with the IRS. If not, you can have $10,000 penalty per form that you forgot to do. And most of the accountant, most of the attorney, they don't know about that. I know about that because I'm a financial planner, and I read the tax code at one point because I argue with my accountant, and I said, okay, it doesn't make sense. So I went on and online, and for 6 weeks, I read the tax code. So now I know more than 20 of my accountant that I already consulted, because I want to be sure that I do things properly, and I want to be sure that my clients are doing things legally and properly.
So the main idea is to follow somebody who knows what they are doing, look around, find somebody who already does successfully what you want to do, and, you know, if you can, approach them, get their advice, and just model somebody who already does it. And it's totally doable. Even if it's complex, it might sound complicated, but it's totally doable and worth it. Am I right?
Yes, and actually when I started, I was happy because I had one attorney in Quebec. He was speaking French and he was doing business also in the US. So to set up my company and all that, he set that up properly because he knew the law in between. But the problem in many industries, a lot of people are telling themselves guru. And when you kind of go a little bit deeper, finally they struggle. So I kind of became pretty good at discovering who is real and who is not, because I'm a really real person, honest, and sometimes it's even my client said, you are too honest. You should not have told that, because a lot of people, they don't want to know the truth. They want to know what makes sense for them and what makes them feel good. But a real coach, a real person who really help you is not necessarily always telling you the good story. They also give you the bad and the ugly stories, so like that people can learn from them.
So they can learn and just, to acknowledge that indeed there are challenges and difficulties, and that might be parts that we can see as good or bad. And this is just part of the whole picture. It's something that we just take in and we deal with it. And in the end, we see the results of it. And thank you for sharing this with us. And thank you for pointing out all the aspects that somebody has to look at and understand. It might take a lot of work and a lot of resources and time invested. And in the end, it's going to be worth it. You have done it very successfully. You'll keep doing it. So why don't you tell us more about what your current projects are and what your plans for short-term and long-term future in your business are?
Thank you. Of course, I want to bring to the planet my TV show, Teen CEO Show. It's a TV show to teach teenagers building their own businesses, and also with different breakthrough and breakdown, like a little bit of mix between Oprah Winfrey and Donald Trump. So this is my main project. Will maybe take 5 years or 10 years, who knows. But one of the good things that I do is really investing in real estate. So like that, a lot of people can do that with only $100. You can start investing in real estate, or a few $1,000s. So I help people a lot on passive income, tax strategy, lifestyle. And because of the international challenges, now I'm developing a niche of coaching international clients. I give like 30-minute consultation for free. So like that, people can learn what I've learned over 21 years in business and help them and guide them along the way to really build their business, grow the business, and make more money and have more fun.
And that's all it's about, right? Combining them, having fun and making money. One without another, it just doesn't make the picture complete. And I know you mentioned at the beginning a guide that you have, and now you just mentioned the 30 minutes coaching session. So just to put our audience at peace, because they're probably hoping to get a little piece of you, at least, why don't you tell us about the gift you have for our public?
Yeah, thank you. And I'm really happy to offer those gifts. The Expert Grid Blueprint, it's a 9-step process to build your message for the media, TV, magazine, radio, for articles, video, even to build your book, build your speeches. So you can build your speech and your TV interview in 2 minutes. It's just amazing. Once all your idea are on one piece of paper, after that, it's so easy to go from one thing to the other. And with that, also, there is a nice marketing video online. I was interviewed by one of the number 3 marketing guru in India. So I have a half an hour, he has half an hour, and we share our story about media, marketing, how to help entrepreneurs to do that. And obviously my 30-minute strategy session to evaluate if people want to work with me, if I can show them a lot of things in 30 minutes, take a piece of paper, because I give a lot of homework and a lot of things in half an hour. It's not a half-hour sales pitch. It's really half an hour of pure content, pure information, personalized to the entrepreneur.
So how can they get all this? Going on your website, or what do they have to do to take advantage of this generous offer?
Yeah, the website is NadineCoaching.com. So NADINE coaching.com. People can have access to that, and you just sign up, and my assistant will contact you. You will have a link to set up your meeting. And a lot of people are asking me, why are you offering that? Like, how can you afford to do that? The only reason is because not a lot of people are taking action. So we always recompensate the people who are taking action. Sometimes maybe you will wait a month to get your meeting, but the goal is really to get you move forward in your business at NadineCoaching.com.
And I definitely encourage everyone to go and take advantage of this offer. And like you said, unfortunately, some people, they don't do, they just, get all the information in, but don't really apply it. Well, Nadine is offering you a great opportunity to apply everything, not just to listen, but also to start applying. And she's personally going to work with you for 30 minutes, and that's priceless. That's so valuable, having the chance to work with such an expert for 30 minutes. That alone can have a huge impact on your life, on your financials, and on your business. So please go and sign up for a coaching session with Nadine, and also download the guide that she's offering to start promoting yourself as a media in the media and as an expert. These two things, knowing the financials of your business and getting your image and your message out there, these are probably the two most important things that can expand the business. And maybe even by themselves, of course, you need a great product, a great service. And if nobody knows about them, unfortunately, they are useless, your great product and your great service. So please, and if you don't know how to sell them and how to market them, which is what you teach, unfortunately, it's just a good idea that remains just that, a good idea. So please take advantage of Nadine's offer. She's going to be sharing with you, and also she offered that you can go and check out her website. You do have another website too, right? NadineRacing.com?
Yes, NadineRacing.com is my main website where I direct the media, because there's a lot of things over there, and people can go there and see how did I structure that. I rebuilt my website 4 times. We redid the branding 4 times. I hire people, specialists, marketing gurus, internet people. Just take advantage. Go and just kind of replicate for you what is applying to you. And a lot of people are afraid about website because it can cost $5,000 or $10,000. But there are different ways. My 3 first website, I built them for less than $100.
And I subscribe to that. I can confirm that's true.
Yes. So I went on media when I was on Fox News TV and ABC News and all that. That was my $100 website who brought me to the media. So this is not about necessarily the website. It's about the content, and the right content for the right eyes. So you need the media tab. So the people, that's easy. You have your press kit, press releases, your question for the interview, like you had, and like I gave to you. It's easy. You have one link, and people get everything they need to interview you.
Absolutely. Nadine, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you here. Thank you for sharing your story and all this good advice that you gave for our audience. Just this interview alone with you, if people did take good notes and paid attention, this alone can help them, can push them to take a huge step in their business. Thank you so much for being with us. And to all of my audience, I'll see you in our next episode of Entrepreneurs Conquering the World. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for watching Entrepreneurs Conquering the World with your host, Carmen Ring.